Let's take a very normal situation. You're 27. You live in a mid-sized city in the United States or somewhere in Europe. You've done everything right. You got your degree. You found a stable job. You earn, let's say, $4,000 a month before tax. After tax, that's roughly $3,000. Maybe a bit less, depending on where you live. Now let's just observe, without judgment, where that money goes. Rent or mortgage, $1,200. Car payment and insurance, $400. Groceries, $300. Utilities, phone, internet, $200. Student loan payments, $300. Subscriptions, small lifestyle costs, $200. You haven't done anything extreme. No luxury lifestyle, no reckless spending, and yet, you're left with around $400. That's your margin, your breathing room, your future. Pause. Now here's the uncomfortable part. This isn't a failure. This is the standard model. Scene 2. The hidden flaw. The system most people follow is built on a very simple assumption. As long as your income goes up over time, everything will work out. But that assumption quietly breaks in 3 ways. First, your expenses don't stay still. They rise with your income, often faster than you expect. Second, debt doesn't shrink your life, it reshapes it. It takes future money and locks it into the past. And third, your margin, the only part that actually builds your future, stays small. Not because you're careless, but because the system was never designed to maximize it. Scene 3. Simple math reality. Let's keep this very simple. You have $400 left per month. That's $4,800 per year. Even if you save all of it, which most people don't, that's $24,000 after 5 years. Now think about that number. 5 years of working, stress, discipline. And the result is $24,000. That's not failure. That's math. Pause. Slower tone. Meanwhile, rent increases, insurance increases, food prices shift, and your lifestyle quietly adjusts upward. So even as your salary grows, your margin often doesn't. Scene 4. Psychological layer. Now here's where it gets interesting. This isn't just a financial issue. It's psychological. Most people don't optimize for margin. They optimize for comfort. A slightly better apartment, a newer car, a few more subscriptions, occasional upgrades that feel reasonable. And they are reasonable. That's the problem. Because none of these decisions feel like mistakes. They feel like progress. Short pause. Your brain isn't trying to sabotage you. It's trying to reduce friction. It rewards stability. It avoids discomfort. It normalizes whatever level you reach. So when your income increases, your expectations quietly increase with it. Not dramatically. Just enough to keep your financial position almost exactly the same. Scene 5. Long-term impact. Now stretch this out. 10 years. You're earning more. You've upgraded your life in small ways. You feel stable, but your margin is still thin. And here's what that creates. You can't take meaningful risks. You can't step away from your job for long. You can't absorb unexpected shocks without stress. You're not struggling, but you're not flexible either. Pause. And flexibility, not income, is what defines financial strength. Scene 6. Shift in perspective. Now let's look at the same situation differently. A financially aware person doesn't just look at income. They look at what remains after everything. Not as leftover money, but as the only money that actually matters. Because that's the part that can buy time, reduce dependency, create options. Tone remains calm, analytical. So instead of asking, "How much do I earn?" they quietly ask, "How much of my life is already sold?" Scene 7. Behavioral difference. This changes behavior in subtle ways. Not extreme, not dramatic. They don't automatically upgrade their lifestyle when income increases. They don't rush into long-term financial commitments that lock future income. They're cautious about fixed expenses, not because they're cheap, but because they understand permanence. They see every monthly obligation as something that reduces future flexibility. Pause. And over time, that creates a very different outcome. Not overnight wealth, not dramatic success, just a steadily increasing gap between income and obligation. which quietly turns into freedom. Scene 8. The realization. So when we say, you're not ready for what's coming, it's not about a crisis. It's about a shift. A world where costs are less predictable, jobs are less stable, and financial pressure is less visible, but more constant. Soft, grounded tone. In that kind of environment, the old model, earn more, spend slightly more, repeat, starts to break down, not suddenly, but gradually. Conclusion. This isn't about fear, and it's not about drastic change. It's about noticing something most people overlook. Your income doesn't determine your future. Your margin does. And if that margin doesn't grow, time alone won't fix it. Final pause. If this made you think a little differently about your own situation, that's enough for today. You can subscribe if you want more conversations like this.